Yeah. Sir, what is this polymorphism? We heard something like poly means many, morphism means forms. So does it correct? Absolutely. Polymorphism means if one thing exists in many forms, then that is called as a polymorphism, right? So, sir, how we can define it in technical terms? Better, the polymorphism is a process of defining same method with different implementations. This means creating multiple methods with different behavior. That is nothing but the polymorphism. So in Java, polymorphism can be implemented using method overloading and method overriding. So here, as of now, we studied about the constructor. You can also perform the constructor overloading in the same way how we are performing the method overloading. We will see examples of overloading and overriding, constructor overloading and constructor over for construct. We cannot perform the constructor overriding. We can see example for the constructor overloading as well. Now, this method overloading that also called as the ad hoc polymorphism, right? So this method overloading, it's a technique which is used to define the same method with the different implementations and different arguments within the same class. Sir, you said something. We want a example. Better, very simple. Just observe the uh, cursor here. Take a class. Class name is X. In X class, what I am saying, take the same method. The return type should be same, void. Method name should be same. Let's take add, and the parameter should be different. Here I am taking int X comma and int Y. So you are writing some body. Next I am taking the same return type, same method name, but I am taking double type of X and double type of Y. Now, just go through the definition. Use it to define the same method. The method name is same, if you observe, with a different implementation. Here you have the different implementation. Here you have the different implementation. And different arguments within the same class. Different arguments within the same class. Right? This is nothing but the method overloading. Right? So now, sir, in Java programming, this can be achieved through the ad hoc polymorphism, right? So this happens at compile time beta. This method overloading that happens at compile time, irrespective of the uh, arguments. So depends upon what sorry, every function that calls binded with the respective overloaded methods based on the arguments. If you are passing the integer type of arguments, then the respective method gets executed. If you are passing the double type of arguments, then that respective method gets executed. So the polymorphism which is performed at compile time, that is called as a method overloading. Now, sir, what is this overriding? So overriding can be done in the superclass and subclass. So this is the technique which is used to define the same method with same signature. That is not even same arguments, but different implementation in the superclass and subclass. Here, let's say you have a class name is X. In this X class, I have something like void Y method with a parameter int A, right? Then you will take one more class Y or class Z, which is extends X, right? This is the Z is the subclass of X class. So in subclass, you are taking the same method, void Y, return type is same, method name is same, and parameter also same, but the body should be different. So if you are writing the same method with same return type, same method name, and parameters are also same in the super and subclass with the different implementation, then that comes under the overriding. This overriding is also called as pure polymorphism, right? So, sir, why we are performing this overriding? Beta, it's very simple. This is a process of redefining a method in a child class that is already defined in the parent class. With the different body, you are defining in the child class. For that purpose, we use this method overriding. Now, This overriding, it enables the child class to change the implementation of the method which is acquired from the parent class according to its requirements. That is all about the method overriding. In case of method overriding, the method binding happens at runtime. Method overloading happens at compile time. This happens at runtime. That's what it is also called as a late binding. So method overriding follows the late binding. Method overloading follows the early binding, right? This method overriding is also known as dynamic method dispatch or runtime polymorphism or pure polymorphism. You can call it in a different ways, right? So now we will see the programs in the next video beta. We will cover the examples for the overloading, overriding, and constructor overloading. For these three concepts, we will cover the examples in the next video. Chalo guys, thank you. Hello guys, as we discussed method overloading, method overriding, and constructor overloading in the last video. So this is a continuation to the last video. Today we are going to cover here example for the method overloading, method overriding, and constructor overloading. First, I am going with the method overriding. So as we know, method overriding means if you are taking the one method in superclass and subclass with same return type, same method name, with the same number of parameters. That defines the overriding concept. Here I am taking a class 1. Within this class, I am taking calculate method with void return type and with a double type of parameter. Just I am performing square here. That I am doing in the superclass. Coming to the subclass, that subclass is extending the superclass. Same return type with same return type and method name and parameter. I am taking one more method in the subclass. So as we know, overriding is nothing but redefining the same method with the different functionality or different body. So that I am doing here. Here I am performing the square root. Now to call the superclass methods and subclass methods, I am taking one more main class. There I am taking the main method. Now I am creating object for the subclass, because in inheritance always we create object to the subclass. By using subclass, you can access the subclass methods as well as superclass methods. Now I am calling the t dot calculate of 25. T is the object of subclass. So now we are calling the t dot calculate of 25. Now it goes to the subclass calculate method. That 25 will be copied in the X. Now in the subclass, what I am doing, I am calling the superclass constructor by using a super keyword. Superclass method by using a super keyword. Super dot calculate of X. Then you are calling the superclass calculate method. So that 25 will be copied in the superclass calculate. Then it will be performing 25 into 25. That displays the 625. Then we will come back to the same statement and we will execute the next statement, that is square root of 25. It is almost 5. This is how the flow of execution will happen. This is all about the example of the method overriding. Now coming to the next one, method overloading. Now this is another example for the method overloading. So method overriding, method overloading, these are all comes under the polymorphism. Now here I'm taking a class. My class name is sample. As we know, method overloading means writing 2 or more methods within same class with same return type and with same method name, and the difference in the parameters. That concept defines the method overloading. So this is an example. Here I am taking the add method with I'm taking the add method 3 times with the 3 different bodies. If you see here, the return type is same, method name is same. In the first add method, I'm adding the 2 numbers of integer type. Second add method, I'm adding the 3 integer numbers. In third add method, I'm adding the double type of two numbers. So within same class, you are taking 2 or more methods with same return type, same method name, but difference in the method signature. That defines the overloading, right? Now I am taking the main class. Within this class, I am taking the main method. Now I am creating object to the class. By using that object, I am calling the methods. Depends upon the parameters, it decides which method to be executed. This is an example for the overloading. Now coming to the next one, that is constructor overloading. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah. This is an example for the constructor overloading. As we know, constructor is nothing but whenever we have the constructor is a special type of method. As we know, when the class name and method name is same, then that is called as constructor. A constructor without parameter, that is default constructor. A constructor with parameters, that is called as parameterized constructor. So here within same class, I'm taking 2 or more methods with same name, but difference in the method signature. That is the reason we are calling it as an example for the constructor overloading, right? And I'm taking the display method to display the instance variables values. Now I'm taking one more main class. Within this class, I'm taking the main method. Now I'm creating object to the existing class and I'm calling the s.display. Then default constructor will be called, because while creating object, the default constructor gets executed and displays the default values, which are given 10 and man. Coming to the parameterized constructor, what you are doing, you are creating one more object to the same class by passing the parameters. So that in the sense, we are calling the parameterized constructor. So in this case, the parameterized constructor gets executed. This is how you can perform the constructor overloading by using this with parameters and without parameters. This is all about the today's session: overloading, overriding, and constructor overloading. Chalo guys, we will meet in the next video. Thank you.